Hello. I am Evora Bentley, faith coach, helping others to change their mind so that they may see their world change around them. This morning, I want to talk to the Black community, my dear brothers and sisters. I will have some other comments as well. Some people are going to be offended, but guess what? That's what the truth does. The truth will offend people. I've realized that, but I always pray that my messages are delivered in love. And the sad thing about the society and the world that we live in, even though the truth causes you to where you have to go to the root, people would rather live and continue to be comfortable in the lie instead of discovering the truth for the truth to change us. So this morning, I just want to talk about, as you all can see, that I am a lighter melanated sister, and so me and my sister, my beautiful friend, were, we were just being honest, and we were talking about us being lighter, how others in the Black community who had more melanin in their skin has made us feel as though to question, like, am I not black enough? And we were just being honest, like how, our blackness, we have like questioned, and just being open and transparent about some raw things, right? And we were just talking about, as far as that coming from others in our own community, how they would make us feel like that. And I come on here to share with you, this is what we have to understand. Even though they want us, and when I say they, I mean the wicked people who do not want us to get to the root, the true root of finding out and discovering who we really are as blacks, that we did not start from slavery. Okay, we started from royalty, and we are still royalty. And so many of us, our identity, we're having an identity crisis, and we don't know that. And a lot of us, honestly, we have been taught this lie that we started in slavery, that even though the truth, and getting to the root of that, is going to ruffle some things and cause us to go back to slavery, go back to the past to find the truth. A lot of people are not willing to do that. And this world tells us, oh, forget about slavery, forget about what happened to the blacks. But the truth of the matter is, what we have to understand, and why we have to come together as a unity, is to get to the root, to understand that when the white slave masters put the lighter melanated brothers and sisters in the house, and they called them the house, the house and then and all that kind of stuff, in word, that caused division. And so we continue to operate in this today because of the fact that we are not willing to go to the root, to the truth, to go back to slavery, because it's just pretty much told us, you don't talk about that, let's get over it. Well, the truth of the matter is that the fruit of the things that we see going on in the Black community, with the crimes against one another, the self-hate that we have towards ourselves, which a lot of us won't even be honest about that. But the truth of the matter is, if you are not got your life in order for priorities, and just striving to be the best of who you are, knowing your identity, there is some lack of how you feel about you. And so we have to understand, we have to get to the root, which is going to cause us to go back to slavery and find the truth of some things. And then when we realize where that division started from, that, how we got turned against one another, and then we can confront that to overcome it and come to, as far as being united and understanding that truth of the matter is, when you come in contact with someone who don't like you because of your black skin, whether you're light or whether you're brown, you're still an N-word to them, regardless of how much melanin that you have in your skin. Another thing I want to share, someone sent me a video last night, and gosh, I cannot remember this white lady, beautiful white lady, beautiful soul, could tell her heart is so after God. And what she was doing, she was having the whites to repent for their ancestors, what has been done with the blacks. Black oppression still continues this day. I know there are going to be some whites who are so blind by that saying, and I've seen so many comments, there is no black oppression. Of course you would say there is no black oppression because you don't understand what it's like to be in a black skin. But I guarantee you, and I challenge you, if you were to try it for just, I would say a week, but honestly, within 3 days, you will understand the difference of what the life is like of living in America, in this world, from being a white person versus a black person. And maybe that's what it's going to take for you to open your eyes and have some compassion to really see that black oppression really is still going on in 2020. So anyhow, the lady, she had the whites repenting for what their ancestors did. And as I watched the video, and it ministered to me, well, we don't understand racism still continues because of the seeds that the white ancestors sowed, right? Even how we feel about ourselves from back in slavery, from blacks, those seeds that were sown, what we were told, how we're nothing about our skin. We still see the reaping and the fruit of that. But just how the lady was having them repent, this is what we got to understand as blacks. The reaping, the fruit that we see, the racism, the black oppression, and all of these things, how our ancestors ended up in slavery, how we continue have to stand strong and fight to this day to be who we are in our black skin. Because truth of the matter is, you had a whole lot of people sitting around somewhere planning, and they are so badly trying to figure out how to get blacks back on plantation lands, how to get them picking cotton again and being their slaves. This is truth, whether you want to believe it or not. And we have to understand, how did we become slaves? How did all of this happen? This is reaping. This is reaping from the seeds that our ancestors sowed. And so, just like on that video, I thought it was so beautiful, but so many white people are going to see that and say, I'm not going to repent from what my ancestors did. That wasn't me. That doesn't make sense. As blacks, we have to understand, as the descendants, our ancestors broke the covenant with God. So the reaping of what we see going on as the descendants, we have to get back to that covenant, the restoration, for that to be restored. And until we come to the understanding of that, we're going to continue to see the reaping of these seeds for their ancestors, for the blacks. And until whites understand, you will have to apologize or somehow get the mindsets of the wicked white people to understand that this is fruit from what the seeds of our ancestors sown on both ends. Then, when we get to the root and the truth is exposed, healing can begin. Healing can begin for racism. Healing can begin for the blacks, for us to get back to restore that covenant that we broke with Yah. Some are going to receive this, some are going to reject. I think I'm completely crazy. But I remember a vision that the Lord gave me, and there were blacks, and they were on chains, and I was throwing keys to them. Some were literally picking up the keys and unlocking the chains and were becoming free. But some were just letting the chains sit there and look at it, and they had an opportunity of being free. See, what we don't understand as blacks, the slavery mentality is so strong on some of us that we don't understand that even though we're not in the chains physically, that they're still reaping from what our ancestors experienced from slavery, and it's passed on from generations to generations. And until we get to the root of that understanding, healing will not be able to begin for us to be free from a slave mentality, for us to understand we have to come together and love one another as blacks. Because like I said in another video, they look at us and they laugh at us. And I've seen so many comments from white people that say, there's so much more black on black crime. Why are we so focused on when a white police officer kill a black person? But they don't see Breonna Taylor. Still no justice. They don't see these things because they look at us and they laugh and mock at us. And the attitude is really like, why should we care about them being killed when they keep killing themselves and not getting along? I love you all. Have an amazing day on purpose.